Hello everyone, this is Satyaprakash and today's session is how to calculate age and years of experience using stored procedure. So in this session we'll learn how to create scalar functions for age and experience, and how to create dynamic SQL in stored procedure, and how to implement the pre-used scalar function in stored procedure, and how to execute the stored procedure for get the results. So this is my YouTube channel for technical related stuffs, and you can subscribe my channel and get the up-to-date videos based on .NET Framework and Angular and Azure. So in this session, whatever we create the scalar functions for calculate age and experience, and these functions contain some date time functions, and the first one is date add, date diff, get date, and the cast function. So we'll learn brief about this. So in get date function, it will return the current date time, and the below one is the SQL query select get date as, and it is alias, it will return the current date and time. And date, what is date part function? Date part, it will return the part of the date or time of the current date, or whatever the year columns in the table it will return. So select date part day of get date and current date. The first SQL statement will return the current day of the current date, and the second one date part of month get date, it will return the current month of date time, and third one is date part of year get date as current year, it will return the current year of current date time. And third one is date add. So what is the date add? It will display the date and time by add, or if you want the subtract the date and time interval. So this select date add function day and get add, here I have 10 I mentioned, so it will return the after 10 days of current date time. And date diff is, it will display the date and time between two dates. So select date diff day, and this one the last date, and this is the first date, so difference between two dates it will be 22 days, because it is 23rd June 2020 and it is 1st June 2020, so it will return the difference between 2 days. So I pass the parameter as a day, so it will return 22 days. Okay, let's see how to create some scalar functions, and what are the tables are required, and how to create the dynamic SQL, and what is the procedure we'll learn using our Visual Studio SQL Server. So in the first, before going to create some calculate age and experience, first we will learn how to filter records by passing multiple parameters in the stored procedure. So I already have create some tables, so no need to go through create and again, just I go to the overview of these tables. So for this I have created first table is create table post. This is the first table, so you will all might get the, and the second one is the category table, and third one is the table gender table underscore gender table. So I have already have created 3 tables, and let's insert some dummy records. So I have insert some dummy records using this SQL syntaxes. So after create this all these tables and datas, so we have to create one procedure, and this procedure is get data by ID name. So what will go to this way, the procedure and we already have created this procedure get data by ID name. So I have to open this procedure, right click and modify. So it will open this procedure. Okay, it will take some time to. Okay, now it will open now. So in this procedure, what I have done is I have passed 5 input parameters: status, name, from date, to date, and gender ID. So it will be filter all the records using by passing these parameters. So you can see I passed the status parameter get when I mention the get value using this parameter. So it will return the results under this whatever the SQL query you have mentioned. So I have used Dynamic SQL in this procedure, stored procedure. So what is Dynamic SQL? A Dynamic SQL in a stored procedure is a single T-SQL statement or a set of statements stored in a variable, and it executed using a SQL command. A Dynamic SQL is required when we need to fetch A Dynamic SQL is required when we need to fetch a set of records based on different search parameters. So a dynamic build Transact-SQL statement can be executed using execute command or sp_execute statements. So sp_execute SQL, which is more efficient and faster in execution, and also supports parameter substitution. So these are all input parameters I have defined in the stored procedure. These are all input parameters, and these are I have declared two variables, SQL query and param definitions, and these are variable declarations, and this is about, and I have building a Transact-SQL string with the input parameters. So what I defined is using variable set SQL query, and inside the single quotation I push the select statements, and using Dynamic SQL method I pass some input parameters. By using this we can filter the records. So from date is not null and to date is not null. So set SQL query equal to SQL query and plus this is from date, between from date and to date. So and next one is name parameter. Using name input parameter we can filter the records, and using gender parameter we can filter the records using gender value. So this is about checking for the condition using where clause accordingly. So this is what I did is this is about specify parameter format for all input parameters including the statements. So this is about the statements, and this is about execute SQL. I have defined here what are the all input parameters we defined, so it will execute this. This is about executing the Transact-SQL string with all parameter value using sp_execute SQL command. So this stored procedure passes a few parameters as input and uses two variables to build and execute SQL query, which is required to create dynamic SQL statements. And this param definition, which is required to define the parameters format while making the SQL string in each step. So an if statement is required to verify whether that input parameter is null or not. So this if statement is required whether the parameter is null or not, and if it is not null, then that parameter will be included in the SQL statement, which is basically adds a condition in the where clause of the SQL statement. So you can clearly see in the procedure that the variable parameter definition, this parameter definition contains all parameter lists. This is all contains all parameter lists. And finally this sp underscore execute SQL takes SQL query and parameter list and the parameter values to execute the select statements. That is the role of sp underscore execute SQL statements. So if what, and again I will say, so param definition contains all the parameter lists, and sp underscore execute SQL takes SQL query parameter list and the parameter values to execute the select statements. So that is all about the dynamic SQL in stored procedure. So how to execute this? Let's see. I execute this by okay. So what I did is exec stored procedure, and this is the status parameter, this is the name, and this is the 10/6 and this is the 10/7/1999. So we'll execute this. So we'll execute this and we'll get the results here. So what I get is, using h name, the post name is hello, and between two dates this record I have found. So like this we'll execute the stored procedure using by passing the input parameter values. So this is all about the dynamic SQL using stored procedure, and how to create the stored procedure, and how to create the dynamic SQL, and what are the required variable for the procedure, and what are the role behind these variables. And okay, now let's see how to create age and how to create age and experience using table data, using table data and stored procedure in MVC. And before going to the MVC, we just create how to create the procedure, what is the procedure required for this, and what is the procedure, and what is the scalar functions for this requirements. So for this I have already prepared few data. So for this I have created one table. This is country table, this is state table, and this one is TBL applicant table. And I have created one other table is TBL company, and I have insert records using the above tables, and for dummy records, and prepare some data for the getting results. So after this we should create two scalar functions for calculating age and years of experience of employees. So what I did is go to the scalar functions. This is the scalar function part, and I have created one scalar functions for calculating the years of experience of the employees by passing from date and to date. So this function is used. Okay, now this function is used for calculating years and experience between the date of joining and date of leaving. So I already have created the function this get years of experience, and this is the from date and this is the to date, and whatever we have already have discussed, that using this date d function, what is date add function, what is date d function, and what are the date time function related details, we already have discussed in the start of my this session. So you can refer this video previous few seconds of video, and here I have declared some variables, month, year, and days, and time from date. So we can calculate set years, and how to calculate months from given two dates, and how to calculate days from given two dates. So like this, we after passing these parameters, when the parameter values returns some data, so we will return the data as a result. So we can create return using return keyword and the cast function. So like this, we will return the values of the variables. Here we have declared the return keyword, return variable, here returns variable. So like this, we can calculate the years of experience using this scalar function. And after then, the next one is how to create the age based on the date of birth and current date. So for this, I have created another scalar function. This is called UDF underscore age in years. So this function only take one parameter given date time, and because another parameter I have not passed, because this takes the today's date. So I declared one variable temp date time, and years, months, and days. Here in the temp data I have passed the given data. So given data is nothing but the whatever the data, whatever the date we have passed. So for getting year, I have a write in this select statements. So you know already what is the date add and what is the get date, and the month part is return the current month of the given date, month part is current date of given date, so, and day is current date, it return the day part of a given date. So we already have discussed in our sheet in the start of my this session, and no need to describe again what is the date if and get date. So like this, we will get the months using this SQL statements, and like this we will get the days using the select statements. And what the out of result, we have like this. You can return variable, and you can use this cast function for getting the value of the three variables. So like this, using this function, we can calculate the age of the employees based on the current date. So step 3 is we can create a procedure using Dynamic SQL for filtering records using between two dates, and calculate age and years of experience with other dates of the employees. So for this, I already have created one procedure is called sp underscore employee details with age. So here already have created the procedure by implementing the previously mentioned scalar functions. So this one is the procedure, and I passed the one input parameter start test, and another one is from date, another one is to date. So I pass the parameter value of status is static, this is dis, and like this I have declared two variables, whatever I mentioned earlier. What is the role of SQL query, what is the role of this param definitions, and what is the execute SQL. So in set SQL I put these select statements, and inside some inner join some between the multiple tables, and here I have only put the dynamic SQL to filter the data between two dates. So this one, and let's see, here I have passed the get years of experience scalar function, and here I passing two value, date of joining and date of leaving, so it will calculate how many years of experience. And like this I have used this age in years scalar function, and I have passed date of birth, and it will calculate the age of the employees. So like this we have implemented two scalar function inside the stored procedure and based on the dates. So let's see by executing the result and how it will return the value. So like this I have to execute, and this is what I mentioned is for execute the SQL, the exec, and this is procedure name, and pass the parameter status dis, and this is a from date value, this is the to date value I passed. Let's see, we should execute this. So now between two dates I have found three records. See here, date of birth is 10th June. It is based on the current date of birth, based on the current date, and this one is the date of birth of this student, this applicant, this applicant. So based on the current date it will return the result. So date of birth is 10th June 1999, and current date is 23rd June, so it will return the 21 years 31 days. Like this, it will 1979, it will return the 40 years 11 months and 12 days. So it is 11th August 1989, 30 years 10 months and 12 days. And the applicant date of joining is 10th June 2010, and it is date of leaving is 10 July 2011. So it will return the years of experience, 1 year 1 month 0 days. So like this it will return the 2 years 1 month 0 days, and like this 11 April 2017, 11 May 2080, so it will return the 1 year 1 month and 0 days, and along with it will return some details based on the join. Okay, so till now we already have known what is the dynamic SQL and what is the how to create the stored procedure, how to create the functions, and how to it calculated all the details based on the date time whatever we passed. And the last one is how to create a, here I have so how to create the age from the date of birth, and date of birth based on using current date. So date of birth is if this one and our current date is this one, then it will return the age. So I have a little bit modified this stored procedure, that is how to create the age calculation using stored procedure, and the scalar function between two dates. It is not taking the by default the current date, we can pass the two dates. So for this I already have created one another stored procedure for better understanding. So what I did is, now I have created one procedure sp_age with experience, sp_employee details with age. Okay, this one is the procedure. This procedure I have created, this is by using two parameters, and how to calculate the age between two dates. So last one is how to calculate age using date of birth and based on the current date, but here we have to manually pass the two dates. So I have created three parameters and one static parameter value. I have passed the SSW, and in the select statements I have passed see here get years of experience. What we already have said that this scalar functions taking two parameters for calculating between two dates, using two dates, and it will result the date. It will show the details between two dates by passing the parameters. So by using same method, I implemented this scalar function, and inside I passed the two parameters from date and to date. So like this we can see what the return of the value it will show. So I execute this stored procedure by passing the status input parameter SSW, and from that I passed 10th May 1991 and current date 31st 5th 2020. So it will return what is the age between two dates by from date and to date. So no need to you can as per your choice you can mention what are the dates in to date section, and even current date, what are the dates and what are the dates in from date. So it will return accordingly the proper age using the calculation functions. So it is returned 29th 0 month and 21 days. I have to modify this one is, so today's date 23rd June 2020. So if the date of birth of candidate is 10th May 1991 and current date is 23rd, I have mentioned manually. So till now 29 years 1 month and 13 days. So this is how about we pass the parameters between two dates, or if you want the get the experience or get the age results between two dates or based on the current date. So as per your choice you can mention your procedures and scalar functions in your project and get the output. So and whatever I have used in this session, the tables, functions and procedures, you can get from my description details the link, so it will be easier for you to execute the stored procedure and get the results. So no need to create again, and this predefined scripts I already have created from my side. So you only just create on your local server and execute on your local machine. So till now already have covered this session, and so like this you already have what the datetime functions in details. So what we have learned finally in this session is use of scalar functions for calculating age and experience, and Dynamic SQL you implemented into the procedure, and how to implement the scalar function already have defined in the SQL server, implement in stored procedure by passing date time values and calculate age and experience based on two dates or based on the current date, and how to execute the procedure for getting the outputs. So till now we already have completed our session. So subscribe my channel, and thank you for listening. Have a great day. Thank you very much.